It is Monday, December 5th, 2022. Over the weekend, since Friday, essentially, some point on Friday, I had, and now it's Monday morning, what is it, 9:30 in the morning, I made 20 sales. So as you can see, 20 sales, as you can see here, shipped by December 6th. And then the gross sales was $567.29. That, of course, is everything, includes shipping, et cetera, et cetera. My guess is that I will make over $400 in profit. That's just my educated guess. I don't know exactly. I have to go through everything, but I haven't done that yet. Hello, guys. I'm Andrew from 510 Books. Like I said, it's December. Merry Christmas, early Merry Christmas. It's been a while since I made a video. I'm tired of saying that, but it has been a few weeks. And I'm glad to be making one. Thought I would make this one because of all the sales I had over the weekend. And if you are new to eBay or new to reselling, I guess you could resell anything. Well, you can resell anything, but I sell specifically books and media, physical media. So books, CDs, DVDs, what do you call it? Records, excuse me, Blu-rays, video games, all of that kind of stuff, even some audiobooks, even some cassette tapes, so all kinds of physical media. But mostly it's books, CDs, DVDs. That's mostly what is in my eBay store. So how did I sell 20 or make 20 eBay sales over the weekend? Again, these sales came in from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then there were a couple that came in early this morning. So basically just over the weekend. I always ship stuff, if I can, same day, but usually what I've been doing lately is shipping it. If it sells, let's say the day before during the week, I will ship it the next day just because of where I have stuff stored. It's not in my house or it's not super close, a lot of it. So anyway, different side note. So how did I make 20 sales? So first of all, 9 of those sales came before last night. And those just came in normal sales, normal eBay sales. And then last night, I don't know, 6 p.m. Yeah, around 6 p.m. I sent out a ton of offers. So if you've been on eBay for a while, you know that you can accumulate people that are, I think it's that they're watching your item and it qualifies for sending an offer. And over time, especially if you have a big inventory, if you only have a few dozen, 50, a couple hundred items, you're not going to get that many of these. But if you get into, over 1,000, couple of thousand items, then pretty quickly you will start to see these these offers accumulate. So basically when you have a certain amount, I mean, you can send out one if you want, but the more the better. So I had over 180, but I just sent out 169, which is a lot. The most I think I've ever sent out, 169 offers. And between last night and this morning, I got another, I think it was basically like half of the sales, about 10 of the sales came from those offers. So that's one thing, how you can sell some of your items to move it quickly, is to send out a bunch of offers. But again, depends on the size of your store and how many offers you have currently accumulated. So I strongly recommend doing that. I just hadn't done it in a couple weeks, so it accumulated. Usually within about 7 days, I get anywhere between 60 or 80 that I can send customers that I can send offers to. So it's a great way it's a great way to drum up business for those particular items. So I did 20% off and a little short message saying, grab this item for 20% off, that kind of thing. And then allowed counter offers. So I didn't get any counter offers, but somebody could get the 20% off and say, no, I don't want to pay less. So they'll counter me with, what do you call it? A lower offer. That's what I'm looking for, a lower offer. So that can happen as well. So this is one of the things. Another thing of how I got 20 sales, but also, it's in December, it's in the holiday season, so that helps. If it was July, it might be a little slower, but yeah. but that's not really the big reason. Setting the offers as well as having a bigger store. I have recently gone over 2,000 items in my eBay store for the first time. I started selling on eBay. Wow, it's been 5 years, been over 5 years, over 5.5 years now. Started in 2017, April of 2017. And over time it's grown. I had it around 500, 600 items for a while. And the last year or so, I've had a lister helping me. And so I've been able to, jump up from, I don't know where I was before I got him listing, but he's listed hundreds of items for me. And so now I've gone over 2,000 items. Just because I have 2,000 items doesn't mean that my sales have skyrocketed in terms of the number of sales, but it has gone up for sure. And the consistent listing, whether it's him or me, between the two of us, has just brought in more sales. Of course, like I said, it does help that it's towards the end of the year and that sort of thing, but it doesn't matter. Sales happen all year on eBay as they do on Amazon. But in the last month of the year, of course, more people are looking for presents and spending money. So that always helps. So sending offers, having a big store, and I would say big, you could have 1,000 items. Again, it's not necessarily just the quantity, it's the quality as well. That's the other thing I was going to say, having quality items, having items that you've looked up and researched on eBay to make sure that they have been selling and that there's not a ton of competition. Unless it's an item that's making a lot of sales each day, then it's okay that there's competition because it's something that's very popular and that you're probably going to get a sale on if you have a competitive price. But doing your research and making sure that the items you put up either are selling often and frequently, or they're very rare and there's not much competition. And even sometimes putting up items where there's no competition. However, knowing that item is probably long tail, it's probably gonna take a while. But the more you put up of those types of items, then over time, the more of those sell. So doing that, having a bigger inventory, having quality items which you've researched, excuse me. And I think also having a diverse inventory. However, if you're only doing books, you can still do really well. It doesn't mean just because you don't have other media doesn't mean you can't sell a lot of books. It's not necessary to have a diverse inventory, but by having a more diverse inventory, I feel it does help me, so that people are looking for music, people are looking for movies, and people are looking for books, and even some video games I have up there, that I have a wider audience, to find my stuff, to find my store and find my items. So that's another thing that I would say is probably important. Now, I've sold 20 plus items over the weekend on eBay many times, multiple times. And sometimes it's just crazy and I get a lot of sales. They just come in. Some other things that I've tried but haven't worked out for me are promotions on eBay. When I run a promotion, I'll get some sales here and there. I ran one recently where I did like 40% off and I got more sales than when I had run it at 25 or 30%. But it wasn't enough to really be worth it. I saw, unless you're going to do a long-term promotion, months and months, then I'm sure over time you can probably get some of those sales. And also just depends on what you are willing to take as offers. I take offers. I know some people don't, but I take offers on almost all of my items, because I want to sell them quicker, and also because there's a lot of profit in there. So be based on what I spent on the items. So another thing I want to talk about, because I know there's going to be people that are going to wonder, yeah, you made 20 sales, but how much did you spend on those 20 items to resell them? Well, I did the research, which didn't take that long. And of the 20 items, I broke it down into different categories of how I obtain those items. Now, how can I do that? Well, in the SKU, I put where I got the items from so that I can have an idea of what's selling, where it's coming from. I also like to track certain sources like Gaylords, local buys, even just donations. So I broke it down into donations, or just items I got for free, right? I'll just call it donations. Local buys, and now this is these aren't bulk. Well, they could be bulk buys, but they're smaller. You know, it could be like I bought 100 CDs, or I bought, I went to this place and I bought, 10 items, that kind of thing. Also Gaylords, and then consignment. I don't do consignment that much, but it's something I might get more into. So I had 2 consignment items that sold, 2 books. I had, let's see, that's 4 items that sold from a Gaylord, and I'll talk more about that, and 3 items that sold from a local buy, and 11 items that were donated or free. So 11 of the 20 I didn't pay for, right? I paid for it with listing it either myself or paying my lister to list it, right? So that's another thing to consider, is I do pay an hourly rate to my eBay lister. And when an item sells, of course, I did have to pay for him to list it. So that's something to consider as well in terms of paying for an item. Even though I got it for free, if I had him list it, excuse me, there is some money invested in that item. That's essentially my cost of goods, is paying him to list the item. So that's something to consider. I didn't check to see how many of those donations he did list, though. Some of them he did, some of them he didn't. But anyway, those items were free, 11 of them. Now, how do I get so many items donated to me? Well, if you're new to my channel, excuse me, wow. If you're new to my channel, if you've been around a while, of course you know, but if you're new, I started out on Amazon reselling books, and then, long story short, I got into eBay, got into selling all kinds of stuff online, and then found a space locally near where I live to open up a store. And I've had that store open for 3 years now. This is just crossed my 3rd year about a month ago. And I went from being open every month, doing a sale once a month, to this year opening every week, 3 days a week. So because I've been open for so long, and because now I've been open every week, and people just find me, searching for me online, driving by the store, seeing the signs, word of mouth, people just donate stuff to me. So I get a lot of donations, not every single week necessarily. Sometimes a week will go by, I won't get anything. But every month I'm getting donations. Some of them are big, some of them are medium sized, some of them are small. Sometimes I'll get 5 or 6 donations in one weekend. That's happened multiple times. So I get books donated, I get CDs, I've gotten some records, and I've gotten lots of DVDs as well, and some Blu-rays. So that's how I get so many of those opportunities. Local buys. So this is a couple different local buys. There was a guy that was coming in for a while because he was going through a family member's CDs and bringing them in, and I was buying them off of them. Had some rare stuff, so I made some of those local buys. Some of those CDs have gone into my local sale in my store. Some of them went to Amazon, not that many, but some went to Amazon, and then a bunch I've put up on eBay. And there was another local buy that I made from a guy who had a thrift store, and I was going through some of his stuff. Anyway, he was buying in bulk. And then Gaylords, I had 4 Gaylords. So these are pallets, essentially. If you don't know what Gaylords are, they're giant boxes. You can buy them in bulk. You can buy just books, or what I have done for a long time now is mixed media. So it's got CDs, it's got DVDs, Blu-rays, video games, audiobooks, software, all kinds of stuff. Sometimes even some VHS tapes mixed in. And so I buy those pallets for anywhere from $100 to $150, $200, it varies. So out of one Gaylord, I can pull out, if it's mixed media, there's probably going to end up being hundreds of items that I'm going to be able to use either in my store, sell on Amazon, or sell on eBay. So the cost for those items is very small individually. I might have spent $100, $150 on the Gaylord, but plus getting it delivered. So that's also another cost per Gaylord. But per item, it breaks down to a small amount of money, less than $1 for sure. And then consignment. So I also sold a couple of consignment. So those are the things to consider. I know a lot of people out there will be asking, what I paid. And by and large, I didn't pay that much for those individual items. But again, in a Gaylord or in a large local buy, the money sort of spread out across a lot of different items, and a lot of items will go into my local store, like a lot of CDs, books, excuse me, DVDs, Blu-rays, that kind of thing. Video games, like I'm going through a Gaylord right now, and there's a bunch of video, not a bunch, but there was like 15 so far. I'm not done getting to the bottom of it, but there's probably some more in there. Video games that were mixed in, and I put almost all of my video games in my local store so that I can build a reputation of having a good-sized video game selection and some good titles. So I put almost everything in there except for ones that are really high price, like more like close to $100 or more. Then those depends. I will probably sell those online, but a few of those might make it into the store. So anyway, that's how I sold 20 items, made 20 eBay sales over this past weekend. Enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, comment below. I am hoping to make more sales, more videos. It's tough, with everything in life, kids and family, and doing everything and running the store and still trying to get stuff online. But I will try. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next video. Take care.